Today marks 73 years since the beginning of the Nakba. The term al-Nakba, Arabic for the catastrophe, refers to the mass expulsion and ethnic cleansing of the indigenous Palestinians in 1948, carried out by Zionist forces and later the State of Israel. In 1947, the United Nations divided historic Palestine into an Arab state and a Jewish state, allocating Palestine's European Jewish settler population 55.5% of historic Palestine, though they only constituted one-third of the population and only owned less than 7% of historic Palestine. The land allocated to the Jewish state by this proposition included major Palestinian cities and other economically vital locations, such as agricultural land and seaports, leading the Palestinians to naturally reject the partition plan. From 1947 to 1949, the Haganah, forerunner of the Israeli Defense Forces, and Zionist militias launched an ethnic cleansing campaign against the Palestinian people. In total, approximately 750,000 Palestinians were displaced during the height of the Nakba, becoming refugees. Refugees of the Nakba and their descendants amount to almost 8 million people today. The Zionist campaign included more than 70 massacres, killing about 15,000 indigenous Palestinians, as well as the systemic destruction of about 530 Palestinian villages, towns, and cities. The initial expulsion of Palestinians ended around 1949. However, the Nakba is ongoing through Israeli policies of annexation, displacement, and state violence. For example, this week, Israeli Jewish settlers plan to evict 8 Palestinian families from Sheik Jarrah between May and August in order to build an illegal settlement atop their village. Home demolitions and displacements of Palestinians in the West Bank and East Jerusalem are frequent. In just February of this year alone, Israel demolished or seized a total of 153 Palestinian homes and buildings. And Palestinians in the besieged Gaza Strip are starved and constantly bombarded by the Israeli regime, taking the lives of many every year, including women, children, and the elderly. Israel's forced displacement and ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people is ongoing, and it must be stopped. Ask your representative to support H.R. 2590, which aims to restrict U.S. military aid to Israel on the basis of its continuous human rights violations.